So one more time, thank you so much for joining. Today's session, it's about the cybersecurity specialist, which is a very common position in cybersecurity fields. So before starting our session, let me tell you exactly who's the audience of this session, who will be getting the best or who will be getting the benefit from attending this session. This session is mainly for people who are facing problem finding cybersecurity jobs. They took training, they took certificate, but even so, they are not able to find jobs in the field. The session or the webinar is also for people who are planning or considering switching their career from a technical career to a cybersecurity or from a non-technical career to a cybersecurity. So if you are one of those, I think this is the right webinar for you. What is missing to let you find a cybersecurity job? Okay. So as I just mentioned, it's going to be around 45 minutes. We're going to explain exactly what you need to do to be able to find a specific cybersecurity jobs, which is a specialist. It could be cybersecurity specialist or information security specialist. Or as I just mentioned, if you are changing your career, what do you need to do to be able to find jobs? Because definitely you don't want to waste time and effort and money taking training and boot camps and certificate, and you end up with nothing. And I have two specific cases that I'm going to talk about today. Now, as a start, and I will not spend much time talking about that because I believe you already know about that. There is a lot of opening in cybersecurity. So it's not something that we need to do a webinar to confirm that there is a lot of opening and a lot of opportunity and jobs in cybersecurity. This year, there is 3.5 million unfilled positions. So just by doing a small search on Google, just by searching on different job websites, you will get to understand this fact. But the most important fact is the second part, which is 1 in each 4 are even qualified to find jobs. Keeping in mind that right now, a lot of people understand the importance of cybersecurity, and many candidates start taking training and certificates and start to qualify themselves to find the cybersecurity jobs. But even so, it's not enough. That's why, according to statistic, 1 in each 4 are qualified to find the jobs. So this is actually a very important figure. Why it's not enough to get a training or to get a certification to be able to find jobs. And what is the best path to end up with a cybersecurity job? As I just mentioned, I have two specific cases that I would like to discuss, and it will clarify my point. I have been teaching cybersecurity since a long time now, and I have a lot of online courses online in different platforms. So many of my students who was recently able to get the CISSP certificate, which is the highest certificate in cybersecurity, they were not able to find a job. I mean, they spent time and effort and money and end up getting certificate, which is not easy to get, by the way, but still they were not able to find jobs. Also, I have another case for a student. She holds the master degree in cybersecurity, and she teach in one of the community colleges. But still, she are saying whenever she sit for an interview, whenever she apply and sit for the interview, she still cannot fulfill the business requirement. She has the basics knowledge, she has the understanding, but she don't have the implementation knowledge. So those are two of the most common scenarios. People spending time taking professional training and certificate or academic training and certificate and end up with no cybersecurity jobs. So what is the problem exactly? Where is the gaps that we need to fix? Now, if any of you are planning or are considering applying or searching for a cybersecurity jobs, they want to switch their career, they want to build a career in cybersecurity, what is always the first thing that will come to your mind is a training courses and certificate. Especially by now, where you will find training everywhere. There is a lot of websites that provide online training, and it's quite cheap. It was not like that before. I mean, before the cybersecurity training was quite expensive, and you have to dedicate yourself for a boot camp or a 1 week training in a place, and it was costly. But now you can buy a course with like maybe $10 and for cybersecurity. So anyone who are thinking to work in this field, the first thing that will he consider or he will plan for it will be taking some online training or certification, which is not wrong. Okay, but the point is, this training that you can take from different platform like Udemy or Infosec or any other platform, is it enough to get real life experience? I mean, if you study a CISSP training or a Security Plus or an ethical hacking or any of those common cybersecurity training, are those training enough to get you the real life experience? Because this is what is missing. What candidates are missing, and according to that, they are not able to find jobs, is real experience. When you go and sit for an interview, they will not ask you if you know what is risk assessment or not. They will not ask you, do you know what is a GRC or not? They will ask you, did you implement any, for instance, information security standard or compliance? Did you completed a risk assessment before, and what was the challenge that you faced? Did you use any GRC tool or any DLP tool? So having the basics knowledge is fine, but this is not what business is looking for. Business is looking for people with real experience. And this is the main gaps. If you can fulfill this part, you will 100% be able to find jobs. If you can translate the knowledge that you took in any training or any courses to real experience, and you know exactly how the implementation is done in a real business environment, this is what business is looking for. So this is the gaps that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to introduce a program that can fulfill these gaps. Now, you need to understand the market needs. I mean, before planning for your career, before starting investing in your time and effort and so on, you need to understand why business is looking badly for candidates who have real life experience. Why security and cybersecurity in general, it's a main or a mandatory requirement for any business right now. It's not because the information is the new asset or a new fuel of the area. Whatever we are hearing about the importance of securing the information and the company reputation and so on, this is the kind of questions you get inside the interview. But the truth is that business are looking for candidates because they are following compliance and regulation. So any business right now, healthcare, financial, government, private sector, they are following law and regulation related to information security. So they are looking badly for people who understand how to implement the information security framework in the right way, who have the real experience. I don't want to hire someone that took few courses, and because he don't have the real life experience, he may cause me a lot of legal issue. And because those government get audited, those entity, I mean healthcare, financial, different entity in different countries that follow different standard are getting I'm sorry, is still my voice clear and the presentation is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just let me know if the presentation has any problem in any time, or if there is any problem in the voice or the audio. So that's why business are looking for people who know how to implement, because they don't want to take any chance. If you're going to work in a hospital or a healthcare in the United States, that follow HIPAA standard, and you don't know the real implementation, you didn't do that yourself, you may cause them a lot of problem. You may cause them fines with millions. You may cause them legal issue. If you're going to work in a bank or in any place who are getting financial information through debit or credit card and following PCI DSS, and you don't know what you are doing because you only depend on the knowledge that you got in any training, you will end up getting problem to the organization. That's why business are looking for people who got some real life experience. It doesn't have to be that much. It doesn't have to be a few years of experience, but you have some real life implementation. This is quite important. So according to that, we provided, and actually I'm going to talk about the programs that we provide, but the concept apply. I mean, if you are not interested in this program, just get the idea of the program and do that yourself. So it's not really about promoting a program. It's about discussing what is needed right now and how can you fulfill those gaps in your skills that you need to have. So InfoSec for training and consulting provided an top-down approach program. What does it mean? Think about it. If you got an opportunity to work in any organization for 6 to 8 months, okay, regardless of your background, I mean, you decided that I want to work in cybersecurity, I just need a chance. I need someone to work with in real projects for 6 to 8 months. And you start working in real cybersecurity projects for this amount of time, doing the planning and implementation. Some of them will be strategic, some of them will be operational tasks. You're going to start using some tools, DLP, GRC, antivirus. This is what we are daily doing, operational and strategic assignment. If you have a chance to do that for 6 to 8 months, what do you think the level of knowledge you will be getting after finishing this training? Even if you don't want to learn, you will, you will have to learn because you are doing operational tasks. You are submitting document, you are doing gap assessment, you are auditing. So even if you don't want to learn because you are doing that frequently, definitely you will gain skills. And you can measure according to what you are doing right now, regarding what job you are involved in right now. Think about the jobs that you are working with right now. Think about what experience did you get just by doing operational tasks. So this is exactly what we provide. We provide a program. It's called a cybersecurity specialist workshop. It's a program from 6 to 8 months. The program depends on real projects. Get involved in a real project from A to Z. So if a company gets a project for implementing Nest, how the project start, what is the project deliverable, what is the challenge with the technical department, what is the challenge with the business department, discussing real document, real challenge, real project implementation plan, real product. So if you have a chance to work in a project or in a company for a specific amount of time, doing those daily tasks, 100%, you will be able to fulfill those real experience gaps that you need to find real jobs. And this is exactly what we provide. We provide a top-down approach for cybersecurity training. So it's not really a training, it's more as real project implementation. I mean, it's more as joining a company for a training for a specific amount of time. Because learning while working will be much faster than learning by watching videos or watching courses and take few certificates. The real experience will come from practicing. Now, this doesn't mean that training and courses is not important. It's important to build the foundation, to understand the concept. but more important to practice that yourself, to know exactly what you learned in any training, how it get implemented in a real business, what documents they are using, what is the responsibility from each entity, how we are implementing that realistically, and what kind of challenge we are facing. Because this is the kind of interview questions that you will get inside the interview. In an interview, they will not ask you for definition. They are not like test your knowledge. They are testing your practice, your real skills. So it's well known that learning while working it's much faster than learning by taking training. So this is the idea of the program. We have around 5 projects. Those are the most common cybersecurity project for a specific position. By the way, this program is qualifying you for a specific position. And you need to keep that in mind. Cybersecurity is a very huge field. There is different positions. Some of them are pure technical, like cybersecurity engineer. Some of them is more into the management area. Some of them is more into the specialist part, which he is aware of each one, but he's not going deep in each of the cybersecurity category. So this program qualify you for a specific job, which is the cybersecurity or information security specialist. And let me show you something. So this is the job description that we are qualifying candidates to get. So this is what you're going to learn in a way that you can write those skills inside your resume once you finish. You will be doing those tasks realistically, related to real business, related to real project. So after finishing that, you will be able to write down in your CV that you did the following tasks. Some of them are technical tasks, some of them are related to administration security, some of them related to business continuity. So we have a very oriented program. It's not general. It qualifies you for a specific job, as I told you, and the specialist job is the most convenient jobs for people who didn't came from a deep technical background. Still, you need to have some technical knowledge that we will cover during the program. But technical is not the real challenge here, because you are following the standards, the compliance, you are making sure the right people are doing the right things. So it's a very oriented program. Even after we finish the program, we tell people you should apply for this specific title, specialist or an analyst. You should not apply for an engineer position. You should not apply for an architecture. It's a very, very big field, and you should be more specific because you are qualifying yourself with those skills that is relevant to this specific jobs. So the project depends on having 5 different cybersecurity projects, which are the most common projects that we are doing as specialists. Standard project, compliance project, technical enterprise project like data classification, DLP tool, GRC. So we have 5 different projects where you're going to do real cybersecurity task. You have to submit the real assignment. Submission not as a homework, but as a business requirement. So you're going to need to do effort. You're going to need to search. You're going to need to, it's not a program where you can watch few videos or attend few classes, because those are going to be live classes. And after finishing the program, you will be able to apply. Unless you are willing to do effort, you will not be getting anything. So this will not be the right program for you. So you will be inside a real business environment with the same kind of pressure that we have when we work in a real environment. And this is from where you're going to learn. So we're going to talk about the project. I'm going to give you a brief about the requirements, the project deliverable, and then we're going to talk about the assignment. And you have to do the assignment according to the business requirement. It has to be done properly, otherwise it will be rejected, and then you have to do it again. So it's a real business environment. The classes that we are doing is not really classes, it's like meeting with the project manager, meeting to discuss the different milestones, the deliverable, and so on. So it's a real business environment to practice real project. You're going to have around 25 real cybersecurity assignments. It will be evaluated, and unless it match or unless it is accepted by business and fulfills the business requirement, it will be rejected and you have to do it one more time. So it really needs some effort, but I can confirm that if you follow the program, you will end up with the real knowledge and you will not find any problem applying for jobs and sitting for interview and replying questions, because you really did that. It's not that you understood the concept from a training or you saw a few YouTube video. No, you did that yourself and you know exactly how it's done and what document we are using and what standard enforce that controls and what challenge we are facing. You will be in the same environment that all of us who are working in the field are doing same practice, same activity, same challenge, same problem. So this is the idea of the program. And before we finish the session, I'm going to show you, because actually we started this program last April, and I'm going to show you the feedback about people who started the program. It was a pilot program. We had the idea and we started, and I can tell you now I'm comfortable because I got from my first batch who started on last April around maybe 45 people till now was hired, and other people is going through the interview process. And you can search online, just search for cybersecurity specialist program feedback, and you will get to see in different platforms people who wrote the feedback about that. So it's not something that is under testing. No, the program was introduced April, beginning of this year, and the first batch has been graduated a few weeks back, and they already start getting jobs, and they wrote the feedback on the on different website, which you're going to see after a few minutes. Beside getting the knowledge, the real knowledge of the cybersecurity implementation, you will also be qualified to pass some of the valuable information security certificate or cybersecurity certificate. To be able to find the jobs, you need two different things. You need to have the real knowledge and you need to have a professional certificate. Having a certificate by itself without the knowledge, it's like having a driver license without knowing how to drive, or vice versa. You know how to drive and you don't have a driver license. In both ways, people will not trust you. Okay, but if you have the knowledge and you have certificate, you will not find any challenge finding a job. Now, which certificate you will be able to get after this program? CISSP. And CISSP is the most valuable certificate in cybersecurity. But you will not have any problem getting certificate after taking this program, because whatever you're going to study in CISSP, you already practice it during the program. The problem with CISSP, the problem that a lot of people is not able to take the certificate, is that they are studying theoretical topics. They never did a business continuity planning or a risk assessment or an access control management or an incident management. Maybe for them, it's just definitions. But when you work in the programs that I introduced, and you do those process yourself, and then you start studying the curriculum of CISSP, it will not take you time. 2-3 weeks maximum, because whatever you're going to study, you already practice and you saw how it's done realistically. So you'll not really find the problem passing the certificate. And again, I will let you do the homework. Search for Muhammad Atif CISSP study plan and check people who wrote about the CISSP even on IC Square community website. So you can verify that yourself. But what I'm saying is it will take you less time if you study the certificate while you have experience than studying this training and certificate without experience. So, what is the pathway? How the program will start? What is the different milestones? When the program starts, the first thing we're gonna do, we will do a background evaluation survey. People is coming from different background. And I'm getting a lot of email where people is saying, I was working as an auditor or as a network engineer or as a developer or as a project manager. So usually the challenge that I face in this program is people having different background. And this need to be fixed at the beginning. So that's why before we start, we are doing a survey just to know about each one of you guys' background. What is the strengths and weakness? Because this need to be covered during the program. So for instance, if someone doesn't have that much as a network background, then he may need to take more assignment related to network. He may need to have stations related to network basics, what knowledge he need to have that will allow him to audit a network team. Or we are not network implementer, but you need to know how to audit a network, audit a system, or audit a database to verify if the baseline and the standard is applied. So we will get to know about different people background to identify the weakness. And then we are keeping a skill matrix for each one of you, where we have all the skills that need to be gained during the program. And I'm keeping this sheet for each one of you. And during the assignment, I'm checking what has been completed or not. So I will get to know if people are ready or any of the candidates, he did all the assignment or not, the technical assignment, the business assignment, the prerequisite, everything. And I do the check accordingly. And then when we start applying, because by the way, one people who already enrolled in the program, we have a program that will come next Saturday, but people, the first class or the first meeting, I tell them, do not start applying unless I tell you that you are ready. So I depend on document like that, where I know exactly each one of the candidates, what kind of skills he gained and what kind of skills still missing. So I can know exactly when I can tell him you should now start applying. Okay. From where I know that? From the assignment. We have different assignment, around 25 assignment. And according to assignment, according to the activity, I know exactly what skills has been fulfilled and what skills are still missing. So what benefit you will get from the program? There is a lot of benefit. You will have access to all our courses on our platform, more than 100 courses. So you will use them more as a resources because we are having live classes twice a month. But you have access. If you need to dive in one of specific topic deeper, you will have 1 year access on all the courses. You will have a letter of experience because you really worked in a project. So once you finish the program, once you submit all your assignment, you will not have a certificate. You will have a letter of experience that you work on the following projects. And this was some of the tasks that you did, and it will be stamped and you will be able to use it. We will also help you to adjust your CV. We will not write your CV, but we're going to tell you how it should be done. Because you're going to add in your experience that you worked with InfoSec for TC as a part-timer without leaving your current job, but you have been working with us as a freelancer, and the following are the tasks that you did. So we can, even if you didn't came from a cybersecurity background, we will let you know how you can customize it to be able to reach an interview. But customizing the CV to get the interview, that's not a problem. We know exactly how we can push you to get an interview. But once you get to the interview, it's all yours, right? So if you didn't really get the knowledge from the training, if you didn't really submit the assignment, you will not be able to get the job or to reply to the question inside the interview. So getting to the interview is not really the challenge. The challenge is to get the real skills that you can clarify in any job interview for this specific position and to be able to get the job. How long is the program? The program is from 6 to 8 months. It depends about people, different background. So people who may have background may finish the program in 6 months. People who start from scratch, it may take up to 8 months. Okay, but in all cases, whoever likes the program, want to apply for it, you should not start applying before 4 months, where the main skills was gained and you submitted the assignment and you are ready to start applying. But the program is from 6 to 8 months duration. I already spoke about the deliverable of the project. You're going to have a letter of experience. You're going to work on 5 real cybersecurity projects. But from my point of view, the real deliverable of this project is confidence. Okay, and this is really what you missed. Confidence that yes, I got real experience. I worked in real projects, some of them was related to standard and compliance, some of them was technical project. I can now sit for an interview and I can explain what I did the last 8 months. So the most important part of the project deliverable is confidence. So this is briefly about the program, and I will let you search for the interview. I mean, if you just go to any search engine and search for InfoSec for TC review, you will get to see about people, especially people who was able to find jobs. This is actually, it's not they like the program or not, but did they find the job or not? This is what I want you to search. Not just in Trustpilot, just do a search about the name of the program and see if people were able to end up with a job or not. And see based on what kind of skills they learned. So it's a tested program. I mean, it has been fine-tuned. When we started, it was not like that. We noticed that some additional topic need to be added. We noticed that some additional, by the way, you will have access to a program shared folder with all the project, with all the templates that we are using. This is the real documents that we are using in any project with all the resources. So we are putting you in the same environment. This is the idea of the program, and it's mainly for people first that they want to learn by working, not learn by training. Second, which is more important, that they are willing to spend some effort. Because let me tell you, if you are busy, you don't have to spend some effort, you don't have the tension to really learn. I think it's going to be a waste of money. Okay, if you're just going to watch videos or attend meeting to watch, it's better to watch online courses or YouTube. But if you're going to get yourself involved in the project, this is where the real knowledge will gain. Okay, so people who are willing to do some effort definitely will get the best of this program. As I told you, the program is around 8 months. And there isn't any risk taking because according to our policy, we have 30 days money back. So you can even attend the first month. And if you don't comfortable with how the program is going, if this is not what you are looking for, it's fine. You can request a full refund. Nothing will be charged and you don't have any risk to be taking. So you don't have any concern about the payment or anything like that. You have a 30 days money back. It's applicable. No question asked. If this is not what you are looking for, is not a problem because maybe you have different expectation. We have 2 different pricing plan. We have monthly plan, which is $75 per month, and we have full payment plan, which is 500, and you will save $100 if you make the full amount payment. And as I just mentioned, you have 30 days money back in both plan in case you are not satisfied with the program. So this was a brief about the program, and I'll be more than happy if any of you have any question. We have around 15 minutes to take any question or any, and let me also share the email, so in case anyone has more question. By the way, our next batch, because we don't have that much of program running, because we have to work only on weekend. Most of our students came from US, from UK, from Europe. So we only have so far around 6 programs running. So we have limitation in timing. So our next program will be next Saturday, our next batch, next Saturday, 11th of December. So gentlemen, ladies, any question? We have around 15 minutes. I'll be more than
Yeah,
happy to answer. Please go ahead.
yeah, sir. I have completed just my 12th science, and I want to switch career to CSS. So, as I am a beginner, so from which one may I start? So, what is my first course?
Uh, I'm not sure if this program will be suitable for you. You don't have any experience in any field, right?
Yes.
It's a different story. Just drop me an email. You can start with some basics training like Security Plus or something like that. But I don't think for a junior or someone who just graduated,
Mm-hmm.
uh, this will be suitable for you or not. Anyway, you can check on my YouTube channel. Or I will send you some of the program details,
Okay.
and just drop an email, and I will tell you what I suggest, what may help you as a beginner.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good
This is.
evening.
So I have just one question. Okay, when you were talking about this content of this entire course, the life experience. So you said that you would be sharing the experience letter as well. So
Yes,
how we would be able to add that in our resume, because when we talk about the experience letter, some companies, I don't say, no, sorry, not some company, but majority of the companies does a background check, right? So how that would be really helpful for us, that we have done a project for infosec.
correct. The way it works, by the end of the program, I will send you a job description that you can write in your CV as a part-timer. And this is normal. You don't have to replace anything. A lot of people are working full-time jobs, but also they are working as a freelancing in some of the activity. And I'm keeping my contact as a reference. So I'm getting a lot of reference letter for people who applied for a job and kept my email or my name as a contact. So this will be justified. It's not really the problem. But the point is, this is not, I mean, unless you worked in a real project, and because you're going to really work on the project, I'm going to show you real RFP, real quotations that we send to the customer, real documentation. So it's really a real project's involvement. Okay. So it's not something theoretically, it's real project and real phases and milestones. So when you're going to write down in your CVs that you work in the following project, you really did that. And we're going to discuss the challenging, the restrictions, the scope, statement of work, the success criteria, the KPIs, real business involvement. So how you can be justified? It can be justified. So it's not really a problem. You can have a reference. You will be working right now. If you have the knowledge and you have the real skills, can you provide freelancing activity? You can, right? You can submit. You can create a profile on Upwork, or you can create a profile on Freelancer, and you can start providing documentation process, consulting, risk assessment. So it will be similar to that, except you're going to have a company name, you're going to have a reference that people can refer to, and people can request reference from this contact.
Sure, thank you so much, sir. And just one last thing from my end. So the alignment of the project would be done based on the inputs that we would be sharing to you, that this is the level of experience that we are carrying, or is it like what are the projects that are being coming up, we have to work on that? So how that things would work?
As I told you, I have 5 main cybersecurity projects, which is the common one. So ISO 27001, the NIST, the PCI, GLP, the common cybersecurity, GRCs, the things that you always find in CVs, right? Now, we're going to take the project from A to Z as a milestone, as deliverable. You will be working as one of the project members, right? But the point here is that unless you submit all the assignment successfully because it's not a homework. It's not something that you fill and send it to me. I'm rejecting a lot of assignment unless it's done according to the standard, according to the business need. I will not accept it. So if you submit all of them, then I will accept to add the job description with InfoSec. You will get the letter of experience, and you can add my contact as well. So it's not a training. It's a business involvement.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Any more questions? I'm not checking the chat, so if any one of you gentlemen or lady has a question, please you can unmute your mic and raise it. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope the session was informative. And regardless if you're going to enroll in the program or if this is what you are looking for or not, this is what you should consider. If you have a chance to practice, or if you have a chance to get training while working in real projects, this is really what business is looking for. I have been working in many cybersecurity projects, especially the last couple of years with the pandemic, and this, there is a lot of demand for disaster recovery and business continuity and so on. And we have a very big challenge, find the right resources. We do a lot of interview, but whoever is coming, he just got few certificate and training. And people who really have the experience are quite expensive. So time couldn't be better. So regardless of taking the program or any similar program, this is what you need to keep in mind. Not a boot camp. You need to have involvement for a long time. You need to hear those terminology frequently. You need to get involved monthly, not just taking a boot camp for a 6 day or 5 days, the full days. It's not, you will not get the real experience by doing that. So I wanted to share with you some of my thought and some of the challenges that we are facing when it comes to searching for qualified candidates. We usually looking for people who at least got the basics of real implementation. Even that is not easy to find. So I hope the session was informative. This is the email in case you have any question, and the lecture has been recorded and it will be shared with all of you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Really, thank you.
Most welcome.